Every good song's got that part, that part that grabs you, makes you stop what you're doing and demands you pay attention to it. Just like every good car has got that part as well, that part that always brings you back. It could be the way it holds in a bend or pulls in a straight line, whatever it is. When you get to that hook in the song or the car, you always say the same thing. God, I love this part. And when you think of cars in a musical sense like that, a lot of comparisons can be made. From the simple, pickup trucks, just country music on wheels, to beige commuter cars or just disposable pop music, to this, 1986 Buick Grand National. Probably the most thrash metal car of all time.
And, more specifically, the rolling embodiment of another 1986 icon, Metallica's Master of Puppets. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you sat down and drew up lists to compare these two, with the Grand National on one side and Master of Puppets on the other, you're going to use a lot of the same words to describe them. Complex, brutal, underground, fast, dark, and by the time you get to the bottom, you're going to see the Grand National is less a car and more the mechanical equivalent to Master of Puppets.
When you think about what this was up against in 1986, the Mustangs, the Camaros, the Corvettes, those were the Bon Jovi, Van Halen, Motley Crue of the car world. Everybody loved them. Everybody had one. But they were pop, They were on the radio. They were on MTV. This wasn't. This was Metallica. In 1986, Metallica didn't have any videos. They didn't have any radio play. Master of Puppets had songs that were 8 minutes long, that when compared to a 3-minute Bon Jovi song, was like comparing the complex V6 in this to the pig iron V8 in the Mustang GT. When you look at Master of Puppets as being this collection of great riffs, you can draw lines directly from those riffs to parts of this car. Just the body, for example, it's simple, it's elegant. There's nothing that gives away the brutality that this car can actually deliver. And that's just like the slow harmony breakdown in Master of Puppets, If you showed someone just that part out of context, in the same way that if all they did was look at this car, they'd have no idea what the rest of it was about. But that elegant body only came in black, dark, ominous, brooding, like the intro to Sanitarium. And back to talking about favorite parts, I have one for Master of Puppets, and I certainly have one for the Grand National. And there's definitely a connection between the two. 3 minutes and 14 seconds into the last song on Master of Puppets, it's called Damage Incorporated. There's a riff that, in my opinion, is the greatest riff Metallica's ever put to tape. And it's 2 minutes before the album's over. I mean, they literally dropped this riff out of nowhere, and it's the best riff on the record. It's the best riff they've ever done. I mean, they seriously make you wait for it. Just like you seriously gotta wait for the best part of this car. But the payoff's just as good. You're going 35, 40, floor it. You get accelerated in a manner that, at least in 1986, there was nothing else American on the road that could move you the way this car did. It must have blown people's minds in 1986 to get behind the wheel of this thing. I think the biggest connection, though, between this car and Master of Puppets is that they both aged into modern classics. You know, you can't go anywhere in this thing without someone honking or yelling at you, trying to flag you down and tell you a story about how their uncle used to have one and it was the scariest car they'd ever been in. And Master of Puppets, I mean, those songs hold up as well now, if not better, than they did 29 years ago, because now that all that time's passed, you can see how they influenced an entire genre of music. And to think that they came out at the same time and were both made from the same basic ideals but put forth in two completely different ways, one art and one machine, that's pretty damn cool. You know, you think about Master of Puppets coming out in 1986, this comes out in 1986. I can just see the owner of this car with his puppets taping the deck, T-tops off, blasting down the road to Battery, having the greatest time of his life.